Good morning, it's Sheila from She's a Sassy Lady, and I have another card I'm working on, and that's the one that you'll be cutting out, and it is the window card. Now I want you to see what I do when I do my cards. Now I'm going to do two of these up, so I'm going to have two cards. What I do is I take my little sheets of paper. This is just a little brief thing. Design with Sassy. It's just a little brief thing just to give you advice. Take your papers, figure it out. After you do the two and you apply, then go through and look at your screen and choose the papers as they come out. Now, this is the window card, and what I'm looking at this is going to be the outside of the card. You have to think about what you want on the outside, what you're going to have on the inside. Okay, this is going to be the inside of my card, so that when people see through the window or when they open their window card, it's going to have this beautiful, beautiful paper on the back, and this is actually going to be the front of the card. So to get that way, I have to turn this over. I've got to cut it so this is face up, and then this is the front of the card, which will give me two pieces right here. These are all on the front of the card. At this point, this one is going to be, I gotta look at the screen. I think this is the happy birthday. This is the happy birthday, and it'll set two of them across here. The next piece that I have coming off is the cupcake bottoms. And I happen to like cupcake bottoms that have a floral print on them, because when I was growing up, the cupcake bottoms were colored or they had a floral print. Now, this is the plastic I was telling you about. It is actually a cover of a page cover for a notebook. But notice, it is not that real clear. I mean, this is real clear. You can see through it. But it's a thicker texture. It's a very thick texture. Now, I used to use, and I've still got some of them left, I'm holding for when I need a very heavy print, or a heavy piece of plastic. Then I use the covers from my old cartridges. But this one is nice and thick. And notice, if I would do this with a normal page protector, this would literally crack in half and leave a mark. This doesn't. It's almost like a rubbery, but it is acetate, okay? Then I just keep going, and I go down the list, and as I go down the list, this is little spots on the hat. This is actually going to be the cupcakes. And this one is going to be the dogs. I had the dogs in yellow, and I don't really like yellow dogs, so I'm going to go with gray dogs. This is going to be the tops of the hats, the party hats. So they'll be nice and colorful. And then I need a white sheet of paper just for the two insides where I'm going to have sentiments. Now, I could, like I said, I could print right on there the sentiment that I want, but I'm not sure what I want yet. So what I'm going to do, I've got a whole bunch of, excuse my reach here, I have a whole bunch of cards that I use most of the time, things, and I have one for birthdays in here. That's for sympathy. This one is happy birthday, and on the front it's going to say happy birthday. And let's see, may the time fly by and the days be few until once more all is well with you. No, we don't want to do that. That's more like a get well. Each and every year you grow, you just become more fun to know. That would be perfect for my granddaughter. And yeah, that's what I'm going to do, is I'm going to use that one with her. This is sympathy also, and this is if you're giving away gifts. So, oh, and I have another happy, or I think it's a happy birthday one up here. No, hello, my friend. Do you know what I did? Oh, I got to tell you, now that I've got this in my hand. I took this one to my mom's, too, when I went, and I was making cards. And I had to get ready the cards that I send to the ladies. But two of them I haven't been able to reach. I mean, I don't care how much I call, I have not been able to reach them. So I stamped on the back of the envelope, I stamped the telephone and we need to talk. Well, let me tell you, the day they got their cards, I got a phone call. So you can do little things like that. It kind of helps move things along. So anyway, that's all I want to share with you right now. Hi, I had to sit down. I had to stand up to see if it was recording or not. This is what I want to show you, what I'm talking about. See the windows like that? When you open it, the inside of the card is going to look like this. So all these beautiful polka dots in here are going to match the paper that I have right here. So that when I put the window on, the front of the card is going to have the yellow and white polka dots just like that are in there, except you're going to see the brown through there also, which is kind of cool. And then you'll also see the sentiment on the white copy that's there. So I just wanted to take a minute and show you that because it's a nifty little thing to just stop and think it out, especially with two-sided paper. I love two-sided paper. And this will look really nice when we put the other edge in here, the white one, because, you know, that we're going to stamp on. It'll look really nice because on the edges you're going to see the polka dots through. So anyway, that's all I want to show you. Be back. Okay, real quick, I want to show you something. When you take your plastic, I took, or your window, whatever you want to call it, I took and see that? I embossed it so that I have a pattern on the window so it's not as easy to look through. And I do that a lot of the times with the windows, especially if it's big and I'm going to stamp on the inside. So I just put the plastic right in there, or the acrylic, whatever you want to call it. I put it in the file and then I run it through, okay? It's real easy. I run it through my Sizzix at that point. Thank you. Bye. Hi, it's Sheila from Design With Sassy. And here's our new card. Now you need to know something about me. If I make one card, I make two cards. I always do a duplicate because it's easier, especially on this card. You can do two up and have them, or you don't even have to do them two up. You just tell the computer you want two, and you're using, this was one sheet of paper, this was a half a sheet of paper. And then I use scraps for all the other things. Now the first thing I want to tell you to do is that always, always, always put together these little parts and get them ready and do them first before you put together a window card, because you're going to put this together and have everything like this on your window card done, and then you're going to set this on top of that, okay? And remember, the last thing I did is I showed you that I did a embossing with this. Now on this one, look at this. This was just straight peach colored paper, and I took and put white dots on it with the oh, I think these are Martha Stewart, and they're getting old, and I thought I better keep them out and start using them. And they're the glitter, and it's starting to, it's still a little glittery, as you can see, so I did that. Now what we want to do is we want to get all the things on this part of the card. That's the first thing that you want to do. And I always look at my screen in front of me so that I know how to, I designed it so while I'm talking to you, I'm putting the screen up, because I don't know whether I put the happy birthday under the dog. I think the dog is on top of everything. But you can always look at, and it doesn't really matter, but I designed it a certain way and I want it that way. And so I just kind of look at it, birthday base window card. And every base card that you put together, every window card that you put together, and the birthday is the first thing going down. That's why I grabbed this. Whoops. I got glue on the top here. I better get that off. Wasn't the last video horrible that I did? I mean, horrible in length and time putting up. I had it, it was down to a half hour more to go, and I accidentally hit it, and it knocked it out. Then computer, at any rate, it took 10 hours to download that thing, or upload it. It was terrible. Our computer system was so slow, and I don't know what was going on that caused it to be that slow. but I've never had a video take so long. So, anyway, see, this one's much better because it's the new bottle. And you just need a little bit of glue on it. But you want to get this on and have it, this part of the card has to be done first so that you can just set it aside and let it dry for a minute. And of course I left my tweezers downstairs. Oh, these little pieces, it's just so much easier if you have a tweezer. I'll use this one. I'm just not used to using these kind. Okay. And you line up your letters so that they line up perfectly, and you set them down. I like how this color just jumps on this yellow. And this, I made 2 of these cards. One is for my Sunday school teacher. Can you believe it? Or I shouldn't say that, my Sunday school teacher's wife, who happens to be a friend of mine. And one is going to be for my granddaughter. And the cool thing is that Dorothy, the one lady that's going to get the card, it's her birthday on Thursday. And I should have had it in the mail today. Maybe if I hurry quick enough, I can get it in. And you want to make sure you have the glue all the way to the edges here, so it sticks real good. Okay. And again, and excuse my hair, I finally got my hair cut today. I'm so excited. You line up all your parts. You line up inside the edge here where it cut out, and then this area here where it hung over. And that looks so cool. Inside here, on the paper down here, this is little glitter, and it's got little gold spots in it, or silver spots, I can't tell. Gold, I think. So it's nice and shiny right there. And this has got like a shine to it also. And then the dog, let me tell you, this thing was not fun to put together. Those little eyes, he was a little hard one to put together. So we're getting this all done, and notice I have not put the plastic in. We're going to do that in just a few minutes. But we're going to get this dog attached down so that he's attached to the actual front of the card. Okay. Get my little cutter bee. And we've got to get him on here. And at first, when he's wet, you can kind of slide him into place. I'm lining up his feet there. His head is lined up. And his foot right there is lined up. So he's in all together. And let's see how accurate I did. Look at that. On the back, you can see through if there's any excess or if you didn't line up. And I think it's pretty good. So we've got the front of the card. And I'm going to set it under the light here so it dries. And I just saw a little thing here. A little paper. There we go. So that will dry. And then we'll move on to the base of the card. And you know what I didn't do? I didn't keep out. I put my stamps away. We certainly don't want that. Okay. We want this one out. And we're going to stamp. I keep everything right here so I can grab things. My favorite kind of letter. Ones that don't line up perfectly. They go up and down like that. I just saw the black ink. Oh, here it is, here it is, here it is. I laid the stamps on it. Silly me. I'm using my close to my heart ink. I gave my a set of stamps, a complete set of Stampin' Up! Stamps to my daughter and the holder that they go in. And I've got a complete set of stamps for Close to My Heart and the holder that it goes in. And then I have another set of stamps. And I can't remember. I know that it's this is Hope Your Birthday is So Good You Can Taste It. Okay. And I think while I've got this open, I'm going to just stamp this other one. No sense in letting it go when I have it here in front of me and it can sit and dry. Hope your birthday is so good you can taste it. I love having these little pads underneath here. Helps cushion it, otherwise I would have to put my pad underneath that. Okay, we'll move that one aside. And this is so simple to put together, you're going to love it. Now the first thing that we are going to do is we're going to take this, use my pants and wipe it off. It's got dust, little papers on it. And we're just going to glue this all around the edge. And the reason why we're doing that is we're going to glue it down to the front of this. So the window is actually between two parts. So we want it right down in there. And now we have a window. And as you, I don't know whether you can see it. I can see it real good that there's lines in there. I don't know whether you can. Maybe if I put it to the side, I don't know. Okay, and I see a problem area here. Look at that. Okay, now, easy part is putting this on. Open that back up. And as always, I gotta just about get on top of something to get it lined up just right. There we go. Now, one thing I want to show you, because we flipped it over like this, we've got a flat edge. If I took and I glued this part on, I think it's dry now, yeah. If I glued this part on and I stuck glue on the top, I'd have glue hanging over on the top here. So what I'm going to do is just use my ATG gun and go around the edges, but kind of put a lot on. And then do you see where the dog's hat goes up? I'm going to put a little ATG there. And this is where the cupcake is. Put a little ATG there. So the window doesn't lift up and you can kind of look and peek inside. You don't want them doing that. You want it to look like it's just that. It's a window. So there's plenty of ATG on it. It won't hurt anything. It'll just help it be more secure. And there's no peeking. Now, what you have to do is you have to line up your card in here. Notice your edges. See where it's not normal? All the edges are different because I went over here, I went over on this side and his belly. So what you want to do is you want to get the edges and watch it closely. Get your edges. And I think I've got it. Yeah. So you're going to see the brown edges here because the dog is right there. And that. Okay? So now we're going to push him down and we've got a problem right here. The hat is sticking up. So now we're going to look at our problem areas and here. So now on here, this is where it's going to be very hard, and I want you to be very careful. Make sure you have a glue that you can trust, because what we're going to do is just lift and put a little dot of glue underneath there so it'll hold the dog's hat on. And then we're going to put a couple dots of glue on here to hold the cupcake on. See? Look at that. Here. Hope your birthday is so good you can taste it. Isn't that adorable? Now, let's see if I can move this in at all. Sure I can. Oop, went too far. There you go. Happy birthday. And now look at, see how some of it just sparkles? And there you can see, right there you can see the embossing on it. I kind of flattened the embossing a little bit when I rubbed it on my pants to get the little pieces of fuzz paper off. But isn't that just adorable? Wouldn't you love to get a card like that? Now Dorothy gets a big kick out of cards. She's in our card party. And I know she is going to absolutely love this card. So I'm going to be sure to send it out to her. Now you have a blessed day. And I want to see what your cards look like. What are you going to do for a window card? I showed you how to put together the window and then how to set the parts on it. And before you do this, before you weld these two pieces together, remember, you have to make a copy of this window. Set it aside, the copy, and then you put and weld this whole together so that you have one solid piece that looks like that. One solid piece. Look at the difference. And here's where the dog's belly is. Here's where the dog's leg is. Over here, you have the dog's feet, the 2 feet, and over here you have the cupcake going. And then here's your cupcake, the dog's hat, and your happy birthday. So it's easy to line up. If you have to look at the first video over again, look at the first video over again. I guarantee you that if you follow the directions, I'm trying to zoom back out a little bit, that if you follow the directions to this card, it'll be so easy for you to put together. So there you go. That's today's card. You have a blessed day, and thank you for joining us today. Excuse me, I almost did it. Did you see that? On Design with Sassy. Have a blessed day. Bye now.